Hey there and welcome to RV Gear and Far. I'm Joshua. What I wish I would have understood before purchasing our first travel trailer was the functional difference between 30 and 50 amp service. If we use a simple equation called Watt's law, we can get a little clarification about why on a 30 amp service, our 35-foot travel trailer can struggle to utilize all the onboard appliances. If the campground supply is 120 volts and we have 30 amps of service, we can plug those known values into the Watt's law equation, which is watts equals volts multiplied by amps, and we'll be able to see how much power we can actually have available through that receptacle. So 30 amps and 120 volts, we have 3,600 watts of power available at the 30 amp receptacle. But let's take a look at the 50 amp receptacle. You'd think, based on the name alone, that it would be 20 more amps of power available over the 30 amp. However, 50 amp rigs are wired with 2 legs of 50 amp service. It actually jumps to 12,000 watts total. Now that 12,000 watts is divided between the 2 different legs. Each of these legs is rated to 50 amps. So while you couldn't pull 80 amps of power through one leg, you could pull 40 amps on leg 1 and 40 amps on leg 2 through a 50 amp service, as long as the load was separated. Now back to why this matters from a functional standpoint. Say you don't want 3 air conditioners on your rig. But on a 30 amp service, you often can't utilize all the electrical appliances on your rig at the same time. You have to manually manage your loads. If I turn on this air conditioner, it'll pull somewhere around 15 amps. Then add in the electric heating element on my water heater, that's approximately 12 more amps. Then add in the converter, recharging the coach battery, along with any other 120 volt electrical devices that we're using. And you can see how easily we reach up to that 30 amp limit. Say our family of 4 comes back from a midday hike in the summer. Opening the door will probably kick the air conditioning on. One person goes to wash their hands, which will cycle on the electric water heating element. And in this example, someone's popping some popcorn in the microwave for a snack. Our microwave pulls around 11 amps. 15 plus 12 plus 11, we're already over 30 amps, and we haven't taken into consideration normal loads with other devices or the converter charging the battery. With a 50 amp rig, it becomes much more difficult to max out the system. And there's a lot less manual load balancing, meaning turning off the air conditioner to turn on the microwave, or turning off the electric heating element on the water heater to turn on the electric kettle to make some coffee. Since we travel as a family of 4, I can speak from experience that it's quite annoying to do that manual load managing and forget to turn a device back on, getting halfway through lunch and you forgot to turn the air conditioning back on. First world problem, but the moral of the story is that, at least for our camping preferences and my personal opinion, if the floor plan you're looking for has the option of upgrading to 50 amp service, definitely order it or search out a unit that has it. A quick rule of thumb, if you see 2 or more rooftop air conditioners, chances are that that rig is wired for 50 amp service. But it's also easy to take a quick look at the Shore cord plug. This is the standard 30 amp 3-prong configuration, and this is the 50 amp 4-prong configuration used in RVs.